We often have a really hard time connecting to who our true self really is. And that's so understandable. If you think about it, for many of us, who we were was not acceptable. There's some aspect of us that wasn't acceptable. So it was pushed down, pushed away, not accepted. And then were responsibilities and who we are supposed to be or should be that was put on us. And so we've lived just covered, maybe like seaweed or something, like, a seaweed monster. We're just covered in stuff that's not who we are, and we have lost access to who we really are. So here's a really fun exercise that can help you find some of the characteristics that are likely part of your true self. And it can be a really good, just like a springboard. Okay, this is not science. This is a fun thing. But there is some validity to it. And I think when you finish it, you're going to see that that's true. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit more after we jump in. So we're just going to jump right in. Okay, this is a true self characteristic exercise. You just need some paper and a pen. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to list between 5 and 8 people that we admire or that we're jealous of. It's okay. Sometimes what we're jealous of shows us what we're really desiring, that we don't think we have access to. So, go ahead and number 1, who's someone that comes to mind? Now, it might be someone you don't like all of them. You might just like you have respect for them about something that they've done or some how they show up in the world. So it's not like you have to admire every aspect of them. There might be parts of their life that's really messed up, but you do admire a portion of their life. This can be someone you know. This can be someone from the Bible. This could be somebody from mythology. This can be a character in a story or on a movie. This could be a historical person. Yeah, you don't even really need to know them. You just need to be able to go, oh yeah, I respect that person, or I respect this part of their life. So, number 1, who's the first person you can think of when you think of who am I jealous of, or who do I respect? And go ahead and write that down. And then keep going until you have at least 5 if you can get there, and maybe more if you can. Okay? So I'm just going to write mine down, and then if you need more time after I'm done, then just pause this and finish writing your list. Okay? Okay. I hope you have your list. If not, that's all right. Okay, so I've got my list just written out like this. And now we're going to do the next step. We're going to write out the characteristics of each person next to their name that we admire. Okay? The characteristics. So I'm going to start with Mother Teresa. All right? She was a giving person. She was really wise. She changed the world. These are the things about her that I admire. Okay? And I have a friend, Lori. She's She's really humble and gentle, and so on, okay? So then just write those characteristics, and the person that you might have written down that you were jealous of. I'm gonna put, I didn't put one down, but I will now, that's one I was used to be jealous of. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and write those characteristics. You can pause if you want, and then come back, and I'll tell you the next thing, okay? All right, so now you have all of your characteristics written down. Now I'm going to explain why we did this. We are drawn to what we value. And I believe that when we are created, and I think most spiritual people believe this, that they were created with purpose. They were created with characteristics so that they could do their purpose or be who they were called to be in this world. And often it gets hidden, like I explained in the beginning, but we still have a part of us that yearns for who we really are. And whenever we connect or see people who are living in that value of who we really are and what we're yearning to have in our life, to be able to live that and express that in our lives, then we're drawn to it and we value it in others. So this thing that we're drawn to other people about is the thing that most often is a characteristic of who we are that we haven't been able to connect to and realize yet. Again, this isn't science, but there are some psychology, there are some biblical principles that make this hold water. And I think you'll see that it actually is helpful. So these characteristics that we pulled out of from the people that you admire and are jealous of are more than likely characteristics that you value and that resonate and flicker inside of you, or you have a desire to be this because it is who you're called to be. Okay, so the next thing to do, I like to put different shapes around words that are similar. So let's just say I see that, I've got one who's selfless, one who's generous, one who cares for others. All of that's similar. So I might circle all of those. And then I have maybe a list that goes like, so one person is thinks outside the box. Another person who's creative. One person is a problem solver. I might make rectangles around that, and then maybe triangles, or if you want to, you could use colored pencil or whatever and just circle these in different colors. I like to clump them together because I like to see, ooh, this one's a really strong one. Like all 6 of my people have this characteristic. This must be something I really desire. So you can kind of see patterns that can be helpful. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do another page, or else at the bottom of your page, you're going to say, my true self characteristics. And then you're going to write them in. So if you have 5 that were giving and selfless and cared for others or whatever, you'll pick a word that represents all of that and just write that one word. If there's some nuances there though, so selfless is different than generous, then write selfless and generous. There are no rules with this. This isn't science. This is kind of exploration. So just explore and see what comes up. Write them down. And then now, the next thing, if you can do this, is look for one that's really, you feel really drawn to today. So maybe it's generous. Generous is just, you're just really seeing generous. You're really feeling drawn to that word. Then take a moment, maybe take a couple breaths, and then just check in, go, where does it ring true within my body? Because our body resonates with truth. Our mind might be saying, you're not generous, or you're too poor to be generous. You know, we're not in our mind. This is an exercise of what we're being drawn to, an exercise of what's in our heart, what's really here. Because remember, the mind is telling you what you're not. And we're tapping into your body, your soul, your heart, into the Holy Spirit to lead us into truth. What is our truth? So sit with it and go, where does it ring true in my body that I'm generous, that I'm a generous person, that the way God made me is generous, that my true nature is generous? And just see if you can get even an inkling. I might feel that, in my, my stomach area, like it might just feel warm. Or I might just feel more solid when I think about it. Might be my heart space feels light, or my shoulders feel like something has just been taken off of it while I'm thinking about me being a generous person. Just see if you can get a somatic validation, a somatic inkling. Yes, at my core, I know it's true. I am made to be a generous person. I am, in my true self, generous. And then you do this with your list every day for as long as you want. You can do this forever or just a week if you want. And just each day look at your list and go, which one is ringing true? Which one do I feel drawn to? And do this little somatic experience with whatever arises that day. If you want to go through your whole list every day, you can do that. That might be a lot. So I like to just suggest you pick one word a day, the one you're being drawn to. And if every day it's generous, then every day do generous, because your whole system, all the parts of you are looking for who you really are. Can we trust this true self? And the more you sit with the characteristics that is true, and you grow your awareness and your embodiment of that characteristic, the safer and more trusting your parts get, because they resonate with somatic experiences. Okay, that's it. Have fun with it. You can do this every few months if you want. If you want to just see like, oh, maybe there's another characteristic I really haven't been working on. It's a fun little exercise. I hope you enjoy it. Reach out if you have any questions. Okay, enjoy. Bye.